Please speak on the good side.
If I can have everybody stand for the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'm going to call this evening's meeting to order. First on the agenda is the pinning of our new police chief.
Chief Eric, will you please come to the podium, please? Let you go first, but I don't knock you out. So I think when we all think about employees rising through the ranks, Chief Eric is a great example of that. He started in 2007 with the city of Paola, and he worked his way through the patrol division as master patrol officer, patrol sergeant, and then patrol lieutenant. And then 2018, he's promoted to administrative captain. And then in April of 2020, after Chief Poor retired, he took interim position until November of 2021. It will remain the Chief Jenkins official. So tonight for the pinning, he is going to have some help with his family. And so I'd like to call you guys up. His daughter, Kennedy, will be pinning on his badge, and his wife, Leslie, and daughter, Hayden, will be pinning on his collar breasts.
Everybody help me congratulate our new police chief.
I just want to quickly thank all the people here today that got me where I am. First and foremost is my family. I want to recognize all of them here with me tonight. As all of us officers know, this job is very taxing on our personal lives. With missed holidays, sports, school activities, and good night kisses, this job will wear on a family. Thank you all for your support throughout these years and as we continue in the future. For the previous police chiefs in the room, I want to thank Chief Smale for seeing potential in me those years ago when I was just a rookie wanting to make a difference in my hometown. It's been my privilege to work in this community ever since, and I thank you for that opportunity. Chief Poor, I appreciate the years of mentorship and guidance. I'll always be thankful, and hopefully one day I can repay the debt. Hopefully I didn't take too many years off your life. It looks like you're taking retirement. Acting City Manager Shannon, Mayor, and Council, thank you for trusting me to continue leading this department as we progress towards great things in our community. I know I speak for all of us when I say that we appreciate all you do for the police department, especially given the current state of law enforcement in our country. It certainly makes life a lot easier knowing we have your support. To the officers in the room, I'm honored to continue serving as your police chief. I've always believed there's something special that we've built here at Paola PD. I have no doubt that we can make it through anything with the hard work and dedicated individuals you all are. Thank you for your support, and I look forward to continued growth and success ahead. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Does any council member have any questions? If not, can I get a motion?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented and authorize the mayor to sign. I'll second it.
Smale,
Aye.
Upshaw,
Aye.
Heckman.
Yeah.
Shields.
Aye. Thank you. Do we have any comments from the public on anything that's not on the agenda? She's on the agenda. Do we wait?
She
Oh,
knows.
this is, I think unrelated to the.
Okay, okay.
Somebody got a timer?
Do you have anything that you want to say? Okay,
Oh, it's want to go with the.
okay,
Oh.
thank you. Annual designation of depositories for city funds. This is something that we do annually. Oh, yes, I forgot. Sorry.
okay, we got
See,
it.
I already,
It's okay.
I buried it in my stuff. I forgot, we're working off an amended agenda. So under old business, consider the amendment to resolution 2021-013.
Yes, so for this amendment, we would just modify adding the property owners' names in the resolution. Everything else will remain the same. So that's the only thing would be amending the resolution.
I move to approve the amendment to the resolution 2021-013.
I'll second.
Smale,
Aye.
Upshaw,
Aye.
Heckman,
Aye.
Shields.
Aye. Thank you. Now, annual designation of depositories for city funds.
Yes, so annually, the city must officially designate the depositories for our funds. Hill is fortunate to have 5 local financial institutions, and by designating all 5 as depositories, this creates some competition and allows the city to earn higher returns on deposits and CDs.
Anyone have a question? If not, can I get a motion?
I so move that we designate the Security Bank of Kansas City, Great Southern Bank, First Security Bank, First Option Bank, and Landmark National Bank as depositories for city funds.
I'll second that.
Smale,
Aye.
Upshaw,
Aye.
Heckman,
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Thank you. And the annual resolution authorizing the city manager to pay claims.
Yes, we do this because we have monthly meetings, and this will allow for the city manager to approve bills to be paid on time and avoid late fees or receive any credits.
If there are no questions, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2022-001, authorizing the city manager to pay claims pursuant to KSA 12-105B, subsection E.
I'll second.
Smale,
Aye.
Upshaw.
Aye.
Heckman,
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Thank you. Under new business, personnel policy update. And I think this is Vicki.
So, as discussed in our work study, we have made amendments to the harassment policy and to the bullying policy. They are minor changes, giving some direction and outlets for our employees if they have issues.
Does anybody have any questions other than what we talked about in work study? Okay, if not, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2022-002, amending the City of Paola Personnel Manual effective January 11th, 2022.
I'll
Second.
Smale,
Aye.
Upshaw.
Aye.
Heckman,
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Thank you. And then items B and C under new business, we're going to table for the next meeting pending some further information on both. All right. Moving to Recreation Commission appointments. Okay, thank you all for coming. Thank you for expressing the interest in serving on the Paola Recreation Commission Board. The City Council will be appointing 2 members to the board, 1 individual to a 2-year term and 1 individual to a 3-year term. The council would like to ask each applicant 3 questions that we believe add value to the application, questions that were previously asked of you. Each of you has been randomly assigned a number, and I'll let you know what your number is after I finish this statement. I will draw a number randomly, and the applicant with the number coinciding with the number drawn will answer the question first, with each applicant following numerically behind. So if I draw number 3 first, that person will go, and we'll go 4, 5, 1, 2, and then Trent has some that he's going to read that were written in, people that couldn't be here. Due to immovable schedules, all applicants were given the opportunity to submit their answers in writing for council consideration. Applicants submitted written answers will be read out loud before any in-person applicant will answer any questions. So you'll read yours first.
Okay.
Once all of the applicants get the chance to answer the questions, the City Council will be free to ask any follow-up questions they feel are important. So if there's anything come up from a comment that's made that you guys want to ask, you can do so after everyone answers those questions. After the interview portion of the City Council will discuss the applicants in open session. Once discussion is over, 2 separate motions will be made to appoint the 2 board members, and the motions specify whether we're appointing a 2-year or a 3-year term. The 3 written submittals that we received for people that could not make it to the meeting tonight are Tate Schumard, Sean Taylor, and Chad Spencer. And then we had 2 applicants that voluntarily withdrew before tonight's meeting, and those 2 are Jace Kirk and John Smale. And the applicants that are here, I'll give your number, and if you just want to raise your hand or stand up or bow, whatever you want to do, so people can see who you are. Number 1 will be Luke DeGrand.
Well, you gave me the option, so I'm gonna bow.
Okay, thank you. Number 2, Aaron Nicholson. Thank you. Number 3, David Kane. Number 4, Andy Parks. And number 5, Cody McNutt. Thank you all for coming. All right, so I'll have you read your answers for number 1 first.
Okay.
And the question is, do you see any conflict of interest being a recreation board member? If so, how do you foresee handling these conflicts? And if anyone needs the question repeated when you come up to the podium, I can reread it. Okay.
So Tate Schumard's answer: I'm a teacher at USD 365 Garnett and obviously have a vested interest in the Garnett and Anderson County communities. While natural competition is certainly an expected dynamic between neighboring communities, I do not believe there is any reason why my career would interfere with my ability to serve this commission. On the contrary, my involvement with another community, particularly the youth in the community, can be a great asset to the commission. While kids in USD 365 are not the same as kids in USD 368, general awareness of trends when it comes to youthful interests and needs would be valuable to my role in this commission. Beyond that, I am confident in my ability to have the same passion for Paola that I have for Garnett and other communities. My wife and I are in great places in our careers, and we do not see any need to raise our future family anywhere besides Paola at this time. We were happy to choose Paola, and I would love the opportunity to maximize the appeal of Paola to young professionals through this commission. Additionally, as a teacher, I can appreciate as much as anyone the value of a healthy and fruitful relationship between the school district and the community that surrounds it. This commission should be a partnership that is beneficial for all involved, and my career makes me uniquely qualified to appreciate and execute that mission. Sean Taylor's response: no, I do not see any conflict of interest. And Chad Spencer's response: I do not see any conflict of interest in being a recreation board member.
Okay, thank you. Luke, you get to go first on this one. For each question, somebody else will go first.
So I was pretty excited to see the board developed, the rec developed. I've always been a strong advocate that the community could use this. At this time, I'm gonna withdraw. I think there's some steps that aren't jiving right now. There's just bigger, same circus, bigger tent is all I'm gonna say. So just hear everybody out good, make wise choices on who you put on the board. So, but at this time, I'd like to withdraw.
Thank you for coming, Luke. Okay, next, Aaron Nicholson.
As for conflicting interests, I am currently a planning commission member. I could see how there could be a conflicting interest to that. If I am chosen to be in the rec commission, I would be willing to step down from my planning commission seat.
I can't hardly hear you, please.
Sorry. I'm currently a planning commission member,
Yes.
and because of that, if I was chosen for the rec commission, I would be willing to step down from the planning commission to serve on the rec commission. I am also a teacher at Baldwin City High School. I don't see how that will be a conflict of interest, but that is something where I'm similar to the first candidate that Trent read off there, that I have some just similarities to that candidate as well. But as for that, that's the only conflicting interest that I could possibly see.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. David Kane is next.
I do not foresee any conflict of interest for this position. I am a teacher and a coach at Paola, so obviously that could raise some questions. But with that being said, I feel like for me on this board, I want the best for everybody, all kids, adults, seniors, everything. I think it's about what's best for community Paola, which I've lived in for 30 some years. Taught in, grew up in, went to school in, so I don't see any conflict of interest.
Thank you. Andy Parks.
I don't have any agenda to have a reason to serve on the board. I just think it's a great idea. I love that our community is doing this. I want to be a part of it. We've lived here for almost 6 years. I don't see a conflict. I don't have a plan to do anything for my own agenda. I'm just here to serve the community. I'm the pastor of Cross Point Church. I don't have a conflict with that. Others might, but I'm just here to serve and be a part of our community.
Thank you. And Cody McNutt.
I have no conflict. I've got 3 little girls that I would like to see come in this community, and I'm all about the community. I want to see them grow, so there's no conflict.
Thank you. Okay, question number 2. Do you have any experience with budget oversight?
Sean Taylor's response: yes, I was general manager for a supplement store and budgeted payroll, product purchasing, and advertising. At my current job, I'm in charge of multiple cost-saving projects for a company that's annual revenue is $740 million. Chad Spencer's response: I have several years budgeting experience in operations management in the distribution environment. I also have personal budget experience as an outside representative managing monthly budgets. And Tate Shamard: I am the department head in my current occupation, and I am given a budget for department improvements every year. While I do not oversee the entirety of the budget, I do pay close attention to adhering to it. Additionally, a past job at the University of Kansas Recreation Services exposed me to the beast that is budgetary constraints. During my time at KU, a new initiative taken by campus administration led to a slashing of recreational service budgets, especially in my area of intramural sports. I was heavily involved in determining the new path of the department to adhere to our new constraints. Beyond that, I graduated with highest distinction from the University of Kansas School of Business with a degree in finance.
I'm not doing this on purpose. The first one this time is number 2, which is Aaron.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Do you have any experience with budget oversight?
Well, I did serve on the council for 8 years. I do have an understanding of how the city goes about their budgeting process. I know how long and tedious it can be, but I also know how important and necessary it is at the same time. At the same point in time, I am the treasurer and property manager of Indian Hills HOA, so I am familiar with the budgeting process, sticking to a budget. I know how important it is I know with the rec commission, it being a one mill levy, that I believe it's estimated to be 180,000 roughly. And that doesn't take into account enterprise funds such as fees and rental usages. That my primary thing with the budget is staying within that one mill levy. I know how, and not having to come back to the voters a year later and ask for another mill level increase. As well as before becoming a teacher, I did payroll and accounts payable for my mom and dad's business for 7 years. But that's primarily my budget experience when it comes to working within the city and working within more of a mill levy scenario.
Thank you. David King?
I wouldn't say that I have a lot of expertise when it comes to budget oversight, but I did serve on the Paola Sports Board for the last three plus years, and we obviously dealt with budget for the recreation department through that, as well as where we had money to pay for things as well. So I've seen those spreadsheets and dealt with them, but I don't have some extensive background in budget oversight.
Thank you. Any Parks?
Yes, I've had to create, balance, and oversee budgets in 3 different ministry areas in our church that we pastored in Kansas City. Had to create a budget. There was no budget, so we had to do that and create and develop revenue streams. And then when I was at our district office, which oversees all these, so we've got churches in Kansas, I was responsible for giving oversight and department budgets for multiple departments, over $1 million, over a couple $1 million worth of budget there, and making sure each department stayed within budget and helping them. And then here at the local church, it's my responsibility to make sure that we have a budget, stay within budget, and learn how to work within that budget within each of our ministry departments.
Thank you. Cody?
Cody, could you speak up? I could barely hear you last time.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Sorry
you.
about that.
That's all right.
I have very seldom of budgeting, but I have worked for construction for this last year with Right Way Homes. And we do day-to-day, I help out, we all help out, but day-to-day help out budgeting for materials and your monthly budgeting for house, what you need in the house. So that's pretty much what I've got for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Question 3, how would you suggest prioritizing rolling out the implementation of all the different programs?
Chad Spencer's response: without knowing the specifics of the different programs, I would prioritize by the start date of the program. After dates have been determined, the programs could be further prioritized by level of necessary attention for completion. Once determined, implementation could then be further broken down and delegated for completion. Tate Shamar's response: it is my understanding that youth sports programs are largely established and functional. Given this reality, I think an initial emphasis should be placed on the development and implementation of adult programs that would contribute to the physical and social well-being of a variety of demographics in Paola. These programs would include adult sports leagues, recreational classes that would range from cooking to guided workout sessions, and senior mobility activities and initiatives of the like. The programs may very well already exist, but as you look for them on the city website and other resources, they are not easy to locate. Even if the biggest area of improvement is purely marketing and communication, it still needs to be an emphasis. With that said, there is always an opportunity for growth, so an overview of the operation of our youth sports program would be a priority as well, to evaluate what is working, on where improvements could be made to best serve our youth and community from an operational, facility, and any other perspective. While organized sports and similar activities mentioned are crucial to the success of recreation organization, we must also understand that special events can provide great value to our citizens and can be a great way to invigorate the community and bring them together. I think the special social events like family nights, parent date nights, dances, and more can fall under the umbrella of this commission and provide great benefits for our community members while also serving as a supplemental revenue opportunities. And Sean Taylor's response. I would begin with youth sports for elementary age kids, then extracurricular options for all kids, and then community activities for all Paola residents.
I try to mix them up. That's still number 3.
Well, I think one of the first thing that has to be done would be to analyze the budget, decide where you have the money to spend the money. And then one of the next the biggest steps would be to find the right director to run the programs. But as far as what implementing first, I think obviously there's been kind of a base laid for the youth sports here in town, but not just to focus on athletics or sports, but all activities, providing things for adults to do as well, senior citizens, and not just focusing on athletics. Obviously, the youth is going to be one of the first priorities, so making sure that's taken care of, but there is a base laid there. But I just feel like getting the right rec director, finding out the money is going to be the first steps.
Thank you. Andy?
I think with anything, it is the necessity determines a lot of it. What is the need right now? Obviously, we have programs, we have things that we're already doing, but if we're planning to bring them all together and give them proper oversight, necessity would be a big factor in deciding on how we implement them. Obviously, if there's budget things, we know what's already been budgeted, we know what's already been planned, we know what's on the calendar, we look at past years, and past years tell us what kind of activities we already have in place. But I think we have to think beyond that. I agree with the one that was read, and then what he just said, sports are important. What my kids have played soccer that since we've lived here, but there are so many more activities that need to be in place. Senior activities, the family activities, it goes beyond sports. I'm thinking physical, but also social and community interaction. If we've learned anything over the last couple of years is we need community, and we have missed that. And I believe the Rep Commission is a great opportunity for us to provide community within our community. And that sounds odd, but our community has been missing that. We do need things for our young people. During the week, after 5 o'clock, there's nothing for young people to do. After sporting events, there's nothing for them to do. And I think we can provide opportunities that provide something for them to do, for their families to do, for each generation. But necessity is a big part of it. What budget already allocates is a big part of that. And then what we've already done. I don't think we forget what we've done while we're looking forward to what we want to do.
Thank you. Cody?
When I read that question, I so like in my eyes, with the program rollout, like I was saying, like I didn't get it, like social media, like emails, like text message that like the automated ones, like of that program. But like we do all need. I don't know. I really don't. I'm not that much for that question.
Thank you. And Aaron?
My first priority would be to hire a quality rec director. I think that that's probably the most important person that is really leading the day-to-day operations of the rec commission. I think that the rec director, finding the right person to do the job would make everyone's job a little bit easier. I do think that we need to focus on what existing programs we already currently have, streamline those programs, make the logistics of those programs easier to access. Make it a fee structure in which that the programs that get utilized the most have the lower fee costs. The programs that are more of a niche program, such as like maybe yoga or a cooking class, that have lower participation, might have higher fee-based structures. I do agree that we have a need for adult recreation in Paola, multi-generational. As many of you know, I've pushed for disc golf for many times. Disc golf is an excellent multi-generational activity, that it's a low expense, high usage activity, including I know that we've got some pickleball courts and horseshoe pits. I'd like to look something like that, something that we provided to the community. The community can use it at their will. I do think that we have a need for arts, crafts, educational opportunities, so that people can learn skills, trades, and crafts that they may not currently understand, but give it to them in a setting that they're not earning a grade on it. It's more for their own well-being. And then primarily maintain and keep the programs that we currently have through Paola Youth Sports viable, but at the same point in time, trying to create additional adult education, cultural and educational programs as well.
Thank you. Okay, that is all of those questions that we have prepared already. Dave, did you have any follow-up questions for anyone?
I don't.
Trent,
I do not.
Kathy?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Aaron. Thank you. How do you see working this Recreation Commission with youth and adults, working with other entities? I'm thinking of the senior citizen.
Right.
How do you see working with other groups like
Well,
that?
I think that there needs to be some kind of outreach with the rec director, that hopefully we create some kind of liaison or communication with, could be anything from our senior group, senior citizens groups, to Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts groups, so that there may be opportunities for volunteering as well through that. I think that one of the things is basically reaching out to them and asking them what their needs are, what their wants are, and then once listening to them, trying to provide some kind of programming that can meet those needs and wants.
Thank you. And David Kane, I have the same question.
Well, I think that obviously the rec director and the board would have to reach out to those different entities or places to talk and break some ice and, come up with the programs that they could utilize. And I think some of that process has already been started, and there has been some talk with them about utilizing those programs through the rec commission. Whether it's taking day trips or even planning things, different activities for all ages. But I think just, constant communication, working together, and really no barriers. Don't hold anything back.
Thank you. That's all.
I think it
I
would
think,
be fair to.
Andy, do you have anything to add about that one?
The same question
Yeah.
to the other two.
We'll give the other two the opportunity to answer the same question.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it takes conversation. I would think that one of the priorities of this rep commission would be a commission for all of Paola and every demographic. I actually believe I put that on my questionnaire, that it's important that we don't become one-sided or have tunnel vision. Rep commission is more than sports. I heard you mentioned having the arts and things like that. those are important things that every community needs to have. I like the idea you mentioned, having day trips. Our local area is full of historical activities and fun things for people to be involved in. And I would think the rec commission would have a partnership with every age group, but especially seniors. That's a good group for the rec commission to have investment in, to be invested in, and to provide opportunity for.
Thank you. Cody, did you have something? Okay. Did you have any other questions?
No, thank you.
Leanne, do you have any additional questions? Okay. So the first appointment that we'll do is the 2-year, but we'll go ahead and open up for discussion. You guys have any input?
And what is the other year?
We're doing 1 2-year and 1 3-year.
Okay.
I believe the school has 1 and 4.
Yes.
Right.
And after those terms end, they will all be 4 years.
I've narrowed my list down to 3 candidates that I think have done the best job. Is David Kane, Tate Sherman, and Aaron Nicholson.
You said Sherman.
Schuhart.
Schumer.
Schumer. Thank you.
My kids say I slaughter names, and I do.
You may or not be laughing.
I also liked what Sean Taylor had on his application
And responses.
and his responses. He's interested in sports and activities for kids and adults. I wish they could have been here.
Yeah.
Well, I like Tate's responses. I think he's young and he's got a lot of ideas. I also liked Andy as well. I think he brings a fresh perspective with the cycling club, a different view of community, and
Andy Parks.
Andy Parks
Oh,
and Aaron Nicholson as well. So those are my top 3.
If there's no other discussion, we'll do the first one does someone have a motion to the 2-year term appointment?
I'd like to move that Aaron Nicholson and,
We'll just do one at a time.
Just one.
oh,
We'll do the 2-year first.
okay, so I just put one name
Mhm.
up. Okay, Aaron Nicholson.
I'll second that.
Smale,
Aye.
Upshaw,
Aye.
Heckman,
Aye.
Shields,
Aye.
Consider the appointment for the 3-year term to the Recreation Commission Board.
I move that Tate Schumer be appointed to the 3-year term on the Paola Joint Recreation Commission Board.
I'll second.
Smale,
Aye.
Upshaw,
Aye.
Heckman,
Aye.
Shields,
Aye.
Thank you all for your time and for coming and showing your interest in serving on our Recreation Commission Board. The 4 that have been selected by the school board and the city will then appoint a 5th position. So thank you all for coming.
Just to make sure before you guys get rid of those applications, if you'll keep who was in the pool so that we'll have those.
I can't hear you.
Keep the applications
You what?
Keep the application.
because they're going to have to appoint a 5th member.
And has it been written that the 5th person comes from these applications, or can someone new submit for the 5th position?
He said last night at the school board meeting that it could be somebody new as well. Somebody new could submit. We just
Okay,
wanted to make sure I didn't want to.
You
lose
wanna
those opportunities.
See who's already shown interest.
By he, you mean Meeks?
Matt means
Yeah.
Yes.
but that should
Is
have
that
been
correct?
discussed with, that should be discussed with,
That'll probably be discussed with the board, actually.
Yeah.
The board will probably make that decision. if
Yeah.
they want to alternate or go from the existing.
Right.
Yeah, the 4 that are
The 4
on
elected board
will
members.
decide. Because
if,
we've submitted our 2 appointments and now it's up to them to choose the 5th.
So So the board will probably decide. if wanna
But
go
they
for
will
an existing one.
decide whether a new outside person can be put up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
They will decide that.
Thank you all for coming. You can stay for the rest of the meeting if you'd like, or you can go do whatever you're gonna do.
Enjoy your evening.
Yeah. Next is committee reports. Anybody have any committee reports? Okay, staff reports. We'll start with Lee. None? Chief? Vicky?
None?
Stephanie? Randy?
I do have one, and it's some pretty sad news if we haven't heard yet. Our library technology specialist and 3D printer guy, as most know him, Peter Troll, has lost his battle with cancer on January 6th. So his services will be Saturday the 15th at the Holy Trinity Church here in Paola at, let's see here, Memorial Visitation is at 10 to 11, and then the mass will start at 11. But so
And he was what?
the technology specialist, but most people knew him as a 3D printer guy. He,
At the library?
yes,
Yes.
the library.
Okay.
He did our 3D roundabout for Artie's retirement party, actually. He was very useful, and he would definitely be missed. He was
And
great.
his wife works at the library also, part-time, doesn't
No,
she?
No.
No, that is-
No? She taught art class.
but other than that, that's all the reports that I have.
Dave, do you have anything tonight?
No, I was just pleased to see we had so many good applicants and they did an excellent job in their presentations. It was a tough choice.
Sure.
Congratulations, Chief Jenkins. Celebration was a little bit short. And thanks to everybody that applied. It was nice seeing the turnout and nice seeing interest in working on the rec commission. That's all I have.
Kathy?
I repeat what Smale and Trent had said. I should say Dave and Trent. And I also want to comment, being new on the board, that I have been shown every courtesy and by everybody, and I appreciate that. It's a learning process, and you're bringing me in very, very gently. Thank you.
Leanne, do you have anything?
I agree with everything that's been said, and I hope it goes forward and is very successful.
Very positive. And it's nice that Eric didn't get pinned in his actual chest.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I've seen that happen before.
Yeah.
What was Phil?
Okay, for miscellaneous matters from the mayor. First, my first ever appointment. Consider the appointment of Luke DeGran to the Paola Planning Commission, and Luke's here, if you all don't know him.
So moved.
I'll second.
Hi.
Upshaw.
Aye.
Beckman.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Thank you, Luke.
Thank you.
You can bow now.
Second ballot. There you go. Very good.
Contrary to popular belief, we are not related. Consider the appointment of Chad Corbin to the Paola Housing Authority Board.
I'll make the motion to approve Chad Corbett.
I'll second.
Smale.
Hi.
Upshaw.
Aye.
Beckman.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Consider the reappointment of John Smale to the Paola Housing Authority Board.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Smale.
Hi.
Upshaw.
Aye.
Beckman.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Consider the reappointment of Leanna Stanchfield to the Paola Housing Authority Board.
So moved.
Aye. Second.
Smale.
Hi.
Upshaw.
Aye.
Beckman.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Okay. We'll be having some of those every month for the next few months. So be prepared. We're trying to spread them out for you. Okay. The only other thing I have, again, thank you for those that came and showed interest in the rec commission. The rec commission has been topic of discussion for the last at least 10 years since I got on council. So I'm very excited to see it move forward and expect great things to come from it. So thank you all. Next, we have a short executive session, probably for 15 minutes.
I move city council recess into executive session for 15 minutes pursuant to personnel matters of non-elected personnel, KSA 75-4319, B subsection 1. The purpose of the executive session is to discuss an individual employee's performance and employment and shall include the mayor, city council, and city attorney. The regular meeting shall reconvene in the municipal courtroom at 7 o'clock.
Paola.
Aye.
Upshaw.
Aye.
Heckman.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
What?
Or reconvene the meeting.
Who's got the official time?
It's 7.
I make a motion to reconvene the recess meeting.
Second.
Merrill.
Aye.
Upshaw.
Aye.
Peckman.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye. Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Gotta hit your gavel.
After we vote. What if we don't get
I
adjourned?
was just making sure you knew.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Merrill.
Aye.
Upshaw.
Aye.
Peckman.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.
I didn't know
There you